Welcome back. It's good to see you all again. I've missed you. I truly have. It's been a while. I'm not gonna lie. I got a bit emotional because I ordered a certain camera. It is the name of the video, so you should know what camera that is. And it didn't arrive. And then I didn't know what to do. And then I actually had my birthday, just like the other week, which was pretty cool. And then I got a call from a certain camera store and they said, sorry, little clerical error. We've actually had your camera for 3 weeks. Do you want it? And I said, yes, I do. I do want that. And thanks for like keeping the suspense up. It's been real. But yes, that's right. I have the new Canon R6 and we're gonna dive straight in. I just wanna share my thoughts with this. I've had it for a couple of weeks now. I've used it on 3 actual paid shoots already, which has been awesome. And I've tested the overheating. Oh my gosh, the ultimate hand warmer, as I call it, the new Canon R series. It's good, but we're entering summer here, so maybe not that good. So let's get this camera out into the wild and let's test all the features that Canon promised, including the portable heater option. I'm keen to check that one out. Let's do it. So here we are, first time using the camera. Right now I'm filming in 25 frames in 4K and C-Log, and I've brought the dog with me. As you can see, she just wants to go for a walk. So we're gonna see how this all goes. And I'll put the sun behind me just to check the dynamic range as well. So she wants to go, so we're gonna test this camera. So this is the first time using the camera, so I'm gonna be interested to see how all this footage turns out. The C-Log looks cool on the screen, but we'll see once it's on the computer. Oh no, that's not overheating. I thought it was overheating. There's just the new like start stop button on the screen, so I thought it was overheating, but it's not. Dynamic range test, there's the sky. Yeah, we'll see how we go. And we'll check the slow motion, everything once we get to the dog park and put the 4K 50 into action. So another thing which, I'm just running this camera in auto ISO and it looks like it's doing a treat. We're at the dog park. Clover down there is super pumped. You ready to go in, Clover? You ready to go in? You wanna go to the dog park? That animal eye focus is, oh, it's also catching me. Am I an animal? I don't know how it works, but let's let her in. There we go, so that's some slow motion. It looks pretty good in camera, but we'll see how it turns out. And we've got to take the doggo. She doesn't want to leave. This will probably take an hour to get her out of here. So I'll see you back once we see what this all looks like. Although you've probably already seen it. I haven't seen it yet. You'll be commenting before I actually know if this camera's any good, or I've just, you know, I know, thought it was overheating. Just that's getting used to that weird button. But it's good, I guess. Yep. And she's doing a poo. I'm starting to really love this camera. I'm starting to really dig it. And before we dive into all the footage we just saw, I want to just talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say the automatic fire starter in the room, and that is the R6 and also the EOS R5, which I haven't used, so I can't comment on, and the overheating issues, which you may or may have not heard about on YouTube. But I can safely say, like everyone else has said about these cameras, mine never overheated, not once. Makes you almost think it might be a little bit of a conspiracy. But firstly, that footage you just saw was all filmed ranging from 4K 25 all the way to slow motion, all in 10-bit. We were out for over an hour non-stop shooting, and I didn't get an overheating symbol once. Not to mention, I've done a couple of shoots where this has been long talking videos like this, where I had to roll on the R6 for over 30 minutes. Now, it was actually the day I got this camera, I had to film a little piece to camera, which went for over an hour, and I decided to bring the R6 as my B cam. So I used my C200 as the A cam, this is the B cam, and it went so well, no overheating, no anything, that I thought, you know what? The next one that I had to do the next day, I'm gonna use this as my A cam because it actually looked really good. And they both were non-stop filming for, I believe, 35 minutes straight, not including setup time, not including other B-roll shots, but 35. And we didn't get a single overheating warning once on these cameras. So it makes you think the overheating firmware update they've done seems to have managed this camera, and they were real world implications. Now, I don't shoot weddings, but I do shoot event recaps. I do shoot a lot of long forum content. And the R6 has so far proven to be what I thought it was going to be, a great complementary camera for my C200. So I can fly it on a gimbal, I can grab it and go, and I can make better videos for YouTube as well with this camera. So currently, no overheating, hasn't played me, and I've filmed 35 minutes straight. So I don't know what you're filming, maybe a wedding, you might have implications. But anyway, I live in Australia, so if you're gonna trust someone's test, maybe trust mine. I don't know, camera doesn't overheat. Oh. Even though there's like lots of other proven cameras that overheat and people still buy them. So does it even matter? Probably not. All that matters is maybe this camera gives you better functionality for thousands of dollars less than the Sony and R5. Just saying. Things I love about this camera. What I said in a previous video about why I'm probably gonna buy the R6, which I did, spoiler alert, is what I love about it. The autofocus is insane. Now, the quality of the image, as you can see from these videos, is pretty fantastic. 10-bit is awesome. Now, having 10-bit video alongside 4K functionality, alongside C-Log, it's good. I really enjoy the C-Log functionality mixed in with the 10-bit, mixed in with the 4K 50, it's awesome. And yes, the slow motion, it's not 4K, yes, but the up-resing to 4K, it's not too bad, and it does work in as long as you're filming in good lighting conditions. I probably recommend maybe a slightly better conditions and lighting, especially if you're trying to put this in a 4K timeline. Otherwise, the 10-bit really helps up that quality with the color grading that you're gonna apply, and most people probably aren't gonna tell with that slow motion, but it is still an improvement on the C200 slow motion and also the 90D slow motion. So to me, it's still an upgrade. Couple of things I want to note about this camera, which if you are getting the R6, is if you're going to be shooting in C-Log, switch it to the neutral picture profile. Neutral is actually the best. It keeps things most accurate to what my eye sees. So switch your R6 over to neutral in the C-Log settings, and you'll have a much better time replicating the colors you want to see and not having weird mixing, especially if you're going to be cutting with other Canon cameras or any cameras in general. Definitely you want to film in neutral. One also thing I really love looking at, auto ISO is epic. I'm using it right now. It's like auto ISO. You can set the limit from like 100 to like 6400, which you can actually go a bit higher in this camera. I haven't done enough tests on the low light yet, but definitely the auto ISO is really quick and you can trust it. It does a really good job. You can set your shutter, set your aperture, and the auto ISO can adjust quite well. Now, a couple of dislikes I do have about this camera, which is, it's not the perfect camera, is possibly the dual SD card slots I find for video is pretty useless, except that there's already a card in there. So if you fill one, you can just switch to the other one. Except that it doesn't do anything for you. You can't dual record to it. You can't record proxies to it. It's pretty useless, and I wish I could dual record to it, to be honest, because it would give me such a peace of mind. Or even if you could do a proxy thing, that would be awesome, and I can guarantee it's not gonna happen in this camera, so don't go, maybe there'll be a firmware update. I'm not that guy. I take the camera as I see it. Firmware updates are just wishful thinking. And I do wish, I can't believe I'm saying this, the IBIS, the wobbling city of doom, but gives you more stable footage. I don't know. The IBIS, like, I don't know. I don't really love it. It's not bad, and it's not great either. I don't know if it's good. It's like, some people say it's like warp stabilizer, kind of always on. I've never had an IBIS sensor camera, or I've never used digital IBIS either. And I'm not the biggest fan of it. It is definitely more stable, but I don't know how much advantage is. Like, I have noticed some weirdish things with the background of the footage. Nothing tragic like you see when people put them on the 15mm. And on a 35 to 85, apparently it's the sweet spot anyway. But just those wide angles. So I did film the vlog at 24mm. And I kind of noticed the footage just looked a tiny bit off when I was really shaky, but it's not the end of the world. I just wish you could have a bit more control over it, like fine tune it, like maybe even a sensitivity setting. That would be awesome. Doesn't have it, but it's definitely not a deal breaker. It's probably definitely better to have than not have. And you can turn it off and put it on a gimbal, so it's like, it's not end of the world. You do have some control. Something you may have also seen online and other people talk about, and what I did notice is the color from the Canon isn't accurate out of the box when you white balance. Like, you can get other cameras like my C200, and what it says 5200 is this camera is definitely slightly warmer and has a weird greeny, warmish tinge to it. Very subtle, Not that dramatic and not that bad if this is all you film with, but if cutting between other Canon cameras, I do notice this shift, but it is so solvable in your little color matrix settings. I don't know why everyone makes a big deal about this, but all you have to do is go to your color matrix. I moved it to B2, which is 2 towards blue, and then down 3 in magenta. And that seemed to, as you can see, it looks great to me, and this is definitely a lot more accurate to me, match the 90D cutting between the two a lot better as well. B2, M3 in the color matrix, and this camera will be completely solved. Spread it around because everyone's freaking out about it, the color shift, if cutting between other cameras. And I really like this camera. Do I dare say love? Not yet, because I don't want to scare my C200 away because I still have it. However, there is another camera called the C70, which, oh golly gosh, I am late to the party again about this camera. It is like this camera. No, it's not even like this camera. It's like a C300 Mark III for half the price with an RF mount. Yes, please. Do I want it? Yes. Do I have the money to buy another camera? Not really. Should I buy another camera? Probably definitely not. Will I buy another camera? Maybe. But yes, that's it for this video. So maybe consider subscribing. If you're not already, subscribe. And I'll see you guys next week for another awesome video. See you guys. Peace. Oh, and yeah, before I go, one thing, this camera also didn't give me overheat warning of any kind. And I talk a lot. I rabbled for like probably 40 minutes. I tried to start this video at 8 p.m. and it's now 10:30. I've got to get up at 6 tomorrow. And I'm probably going to edit this right now. I'm crazy. And that autofocus, how good is that? How good is that autofocus? So good.